little bit better?
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Art of Awesomeness podcast. My name is Christian Caito, and this is your also host, Adrian Kiswani.
What's
Hey,
up, guys?
hey, Adrian.
Hey, Christian. How
How's
are
it?
you?
I'm
Oh,
good.
well,
I'm good.
yikes.
So, it's our 61st episode.
Yes,
Congratulations.
61st. Thanks.
Almost there. We are almost there.
Almost there.
There. Almost there. We are almost there. And
Dang,
before we
Christian's
get
hair
in,
looks like a wave.
before we get into that, I have
Yeah.
something very special to share with you guys.
Oh, here we go. Also, welcome back, Christian, because you were
Thank you. Yeah,
absent.
I know, but I enjoyed, especially the backgrounds. I think one point there was like a Lego monkey for Lucas's.
Yeah. Dude, Lucas was going off with those different backgrounds. That was awesome.
That was my favorite part.
Yeah.
But we're back in the flesh.
Kinda.
In the flesh.
In the
And
flesh.
here we are, 61st episode. But
Yep.
first off, important business. As you already know,
Oh.
it is National Social Dot Day. It is
I don't.
flavor
Okay.
ingredients make this dessert a delicious dot. Also known as
Cool.
social dot, is a unique type of chocolate cake invented in 1832 by a German dude, I think. Vienna considers the dessert one of their most famous culinary specialties.
Awesome.
So get the dot, social dot, and get jiggy with a bathtub party day.
Dang.
Invite your friends because there's a party in your bathtub. Have fun, go crazy, but be safe, please.
What?
Have fun, but be safe.
Yeah.
Next.
Okay.
Guess what? International.
National Ninja Day. Let's go.
How'd you know that?
Well, I practice.
Ninja Day. So if you guys know how to be a ninja, or you like Ninja Turtles, Mini Ninjas, Ninjas,
Ninjago.
Ninjago, at the burning speed. What? Get down with some ninjas. It's the day
Yeah.
for ninjas. Be a ninja, act like a ninja, love a ninja, marry and have kids with a ninja. Ninja.
Yeah. I like it.
National Repeal Day. So, commemorates the day Prohibition ended in the United States. National Repeal Day. National
There you
Repeal
go.
Day. It's kind of a boring day, but I mean,
It is kind of a boring day, but I mean, it's a day, so we
I
have
mean
to
that
say it.
day. I mean that one in particular. I like the other one, like Shosil Day
Okay, is that sound?
and
Is it French
bathtub
or
party
German?
in honor of National Bathtub Party Day. Adrian and I actually have a special prize for you guys. So
Why do you keep lying to the audience?
no, we're not. Okay, so I guess we're not gonna do that anymore.
Awesome. All
That's
right, cool.
okay. No more bathtub party. That's okay. But it is gonna be a little bit of a shorter episode today, guys.
Yeah,
Back on
we're on
Zoom
a bit of a
though,
time crunch.
and I think as you guys may or may not have noticed from the 2-hour special, well done by the way. I guess there's some technical difficulties with Zoom, so we might have to work around a shorter episode till we're back in person next week,
Mhm.
and very special something going on next week. Adrian.
It's probably
And
nothing, but yeah.
okay, no,
we'll see.
no, no. Something's gonna happen on Monday that Adrian's gonna show on Friday,
Got it.
Sunday
We'll do.
from Germany. Remember?
Is it the freaking port thing or whatever?
Huh?
The thing you were just reading, the Austrian or German cake thing?
Nope. The Sachel
Schochilt. I don't even know.
Day. Nope. But it's a good episode today, Adrian.
Yep, we
Adrian,
have.
why don't we just ease into it? Just relax.
Nah, okay. So basically, Christian, for those of you who don't know, is a student at UNLV. You are currently, well, a sophomore there, but you haven't actually attended the school yet. So you are going there January, I think.
Yeah.
Or is that like the plan right now? I know that stuff changes, but
So
like,
yeah. I can't disclose any information.
got it.
I'm going to be there by January 15th.
Got it.
And there's going to be some stuff happening, but January 15th is the moving date. school starts on the 18th. I don't know if it's different for you. When does school start, on the 18th too, or is
No
it?
idea. I'm
I didn't
not
know
even
either.
focusing on that.
It was last night, I think. Last night I went to dinner with. That's why I asked if we could do this, how we did it today, and
Yeah.
because we went to a dinner with some family friends, and they said, "Oh, when's your break?" I'm like, I don't know, because I don't really. I just play it by ear. Like I don't. I'll figure that out like later. Like I don't. I want to be in the moment, you know.
Boys.
And they, boy, and then they searched it up for me, and apparently, that's when. So they know more of my school schedule than I do when it comes to that stuff. I mean, I don't
Well,
know, but I do. So now I know. But yeah, that's gonna happen in January. I'm very excited and very nervous.
nervous. Christian's got the nerves. But I know that for a lot of people that January might be the start of, well, at least a lot of people who listen to us anyways, January might be the start of when they're at least just starting a new semester, a new quarter of college. But I know actually people who are in your same situation where they're going to, not, I mean, I guess I wouldn't call it a new college. You've been technically going there, but obviously it's going to be your first time,
Mm,
interacting with the people and stuff like that in person, and everything kind of being other than virtual.
mm,
So technically, since you haven't had that college experience yet, I guess this episode, what we're basically trying to delve into is your mindset and your perspective going into that new kind of an environment, what you're anticipating, what you're kind of, like you said, nervous about or thinking on.
yeah.
And then I guess on top of those things, how you're going to try and make the best out of the situation that you've been given.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
there you
I
go.
love it. I love it. Well, for starters, what do I say? There's a lot of people out there that you're right. Not only are they starting school, but they're starting life. New year, right?
You mean that like they're born or like,
That's true. That's
okay.
true. Uh, and when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, there's really no set in stone advice. That's like do this and that. But what I can offer you, Adrian, is for when you go. Is it a secret of where you're going? Are you keeping it hush hush?
Not even necessarily a secret. I really just don't know. That's the
Okay.
honest truth. I don't know.
Well,
So it could be anywhere right now.
Adrian has an idea, and if he wants to disclose that, that's cool. But I guess I'll be going first, and then he'll follow after me after that. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Adrian, what do I say, man?
I guess the only reason I'm asking you is because I mean I am going to be off of online and going to a physical college soon, like you are, but you're going there in advance because the way it works with me is I have to do another semester of where I'm currently going online and then transfer to another college. But
Mm,
you're just in the same college the whole way through. So
mm-hmm.
you're basically just going there whenever it's available for you to be in person. So I just
Yeah.
figured that it's kind of more, I guess the whole experience of it is a bit more fresh in your perspective, whereas for me it's a bit more far off. So I'm still kind of like theorizing about it, where you're kind of in the middle of the process, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Mm,
So like for me, at least the way I look at it is because I don't have as good of I guess as clear as an idea of where I'm going to end up as of the moment. Hopefully, I should figure that stuff out pretty
mm,
soon. But as of now, it's still a little murky. But
yeah.
I guess my overall plan is not to do anything too drastically different school wise, but I guess lifestyle wise, your lifestyle is going to change a lot because it's not, at
Yeah.
least for you, obviously you don't want to disclose any personal information. I get that for sure. But I
Some
mean, what's
things.
clear
Yeah.
is that you're not going to be obviously living in your home, which you've been living in for, ever
Yeah.
since you moved here, right?
Yeah. Oh man, almost like
Different
10 years.
space, different, obviously people. I know you know some people there who,
Yeah, a
obviously you're going to meet
few.
up with, like obviously like Sophie and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But um, other than that, it is definitely a big lifestyle change, and it's kind of like that transition stage of where you're kind of making those steps of moving to your own kind of place in life, where
Mm.
you're a bit more autonomous and independent.
Ooh, well said.
So what do you like? Because it's a bit more fresh in your mind. Like, where are you in the sense of? Are you worried about it in the sense that it's just kind of those normal average nerves, I guess you could say? Or are there like legitimate concerns that you would say that you've I don't know, struggled with, or like other people might relate to
Mm.
in that kind of regard, like
Yeah,
family wise, friend wise, that kind of thing.
yeah. So for me, it's been a little different lately, and I'm sure it's gonna change like on the day and beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but for the longest time, but it was before a few months, I think a few months or a few weeks beforehand, I was more nervous about other people. I was more nervous about other people and how they would react when I would be leaving. It was like an order of things that I worried about in my head. That was like this. So the first thing was first like my mom. My mom is gonna be heartbroken like when I leave, and
Mm.
and I think we're a little similar. Um, when it comes to certain people in certain situations where they just show like some emotion, it's hard to
Oh yeah.
it's hard to find a way to reciprocate that without coming off as like being robotic or uncompassionate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and other times too, when they're just showing emotion, it's hard because like you get that way yourself and you're nervous. Like, how do you prepare for that kind of stuff?
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to, I was the main thing I was worried about for a while was how I'm going to handle that. Um, and so I guess for those listening out there that are kind of going through the same thing, if you're worried about that, one thing that I kind of am learning to do is that first off, that's a good thing if they show like emotion, like because that means like they're gonna miss you, whoever's out there, right? Whoever's out
Right.
there, they're gonna
It
miss
means they
you,
have genuine feelings for
right?
you,
It's
right?
not like
Like,
get out of here, like oh you're gone, like oh you're leaving, like oh okay, have fun,
yeah.
man. Like it's better that to have
Yeah.
it's better to have that, and it's harder for sure, but it's better to have that in the long run because people are going to miss you and you have a place to come back to. So that's for those out there. Don't be afraid of those emotions. I'd say because somewhat they're inevitable and it's not a bad thing, even
Mm.
though it might feel like a bad thing in the total picture of things. It's not bad. So that was the first thing I was worried about other people and reacting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And then the other thing, that was the primary thing. And then there's this other thing that came because I'm dorming and I don't know if I'll have I don't oh my mom's calling me. I don't know I don't know if I'll have a dorm mate or not, or dorm mate, a roommate or
Hmm.
not. I know I'm dorming and I'm supposed to find out so what's going what oh
Christian's gonna get a call from his family again.
no, no, she knows. She knows. I can't even. Where's my phone? I feel. Oh, it's right here.
Technical
Oh,
difficulties.
I feel it's right here.
Uh,
Okay, yeah. Um, what was I saying? So I'm dorming the second semester, but I'm supposed to find out like in the middle of this month if I'll have a roommate or not.
mm,
So that was a little worrisome for a while about how I'm going to deal with that because there's pros and cons. If I don't have a roommate, it's the whole room to myself, which is cool. If I do, it's like a guaranteed friend kind of in a way.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I've never had that before. When I did science camp for us, it was kind of like a taste of that and momentum, but that wasn't like a semester kind of a thing. That was like
Right,
a
right.
day. So that was something I'm not really worried about. But it was in the back of my mind a little bit. Um, and then there's also it's the change. I was talking to Sophie and she was saying how it's easy in some aspects it's easier to do online classes than in-person classes because they're just depending they're just in general like easier to do than in-person classes. It's easier
Yeah.
to get to find your way around, I guess. And so for a while, I was worried, like, oh no, I'm taking in-person classes. Like, is it going to be harder? Like, I
Yeah.
don't, because I'm going to have to take in-person classes. But
Yeah. I was talking with Arsh about that today. For those of you who don't know, Arsh Baines, we're gonna actually try and get him on the podcast
yes,
sometimes if he's down. But me and him work on assignments every now and then. And actually, just before this, few hours before recording this, we were talking about this that like basically whether or not in-person classes are better than online classes, and we were basically, I guess the point I was kind of saying was that when you have an in-person class, it's kind of hard to not, like, even if you're uninterested in the content and it's hard, you still have to show up and be there and listen to your teacher or professor say things and
mm,
interact with people. Like, that's basically, you have to do that, right? Whereas I feel like in an online class, even though it gives you a lot of the freedom to do, what you want when you want to do it, sometimes like there can be that tendency, like if you're listening to a pre-recorded online lecture, to kind of like turn the volume down or mute it or like skip and say, I'm going to do something later, and kind of like skip around. Whereas when you're in person, it doesn't matter whether you're uninterested or like your interest level doesn't dictate what you're hearing and what you're experiencing in the classroom. So it's almost like one is a bit more difficult, I would say, and not as convenient, but maybe you get a better education out of it overall. I think
that's true.
Is what I'm thinking.
That's a big point. Yeah.
But it is, I mean, I agree with you. I definitely prefer online classes in a lot of aspects, But then at the same time, I also remember, as convenient as it was, I definitely, when, we went to online in high school, I remembered how much I missed some of my teachers, quote, some of, and then, obviously, some of the, obviously a lot of the, classmates who I would, see on a daily basis, even like not people who were my best friends or good friends, but just, acquaintances who, those regular people who you would like just casually say hi to in the halls. Like it was like a daily ritual where even if you didn't talk anywhere else, it was just kind of a thing that, just little experiences like that. So I think that for you, you're gonna be able to kind of build that back up again, where it's been completely void for like, I don't know how many years now with COVID and all that, but YouTube don't, demonetize this. Actually, YouTube doesn't monetize our videos anyways, but
we can say whatever we want.
Yeah, screw it. Baby seals, but like, it's one of those situations where I feel like a lot of people, including yourself and myself, have been kind of deprived of like a lot of human interaction for a good amount of time. And as maybe not convenient as it is, or maybe if the classwork is harder, I still think it's going to be, a definitely good experience to be able to, interact with a bunch of different people. And then, like what my parents have often said, and Arsh was saying this earlier today too, is that this has been drilled into me so much now, but like, make connections, like in high school, you can network, kind of a thing. That's what my mom's always saying. Network in high school, and not high school, network in college and stuff like that. And, make connections with people. So that even when you go off your separate ways, you still have a friend, or you still have someone in some place, that you can kind of connect to and network with in the future, or later down the line, or combine careers or something like that,
Yeah, that's true.
So, I definitely, I know that I'm not you. So kind of vicariously through you, I'm excited for you to be able to experience those things. But like, as far as like your personal kind of opinion on it, are you looking forward to that, like with the same level of excitement, or is it kind of like you'd rather stay online or something of the sort?
I'm looking forward to going on campus. I feel like it's been a while. Even after talking to my advisors, they hype it up to be like this great place. I think too, it'd be a nice change of like scenery from being like inside like all the time. And just I think it's a nice change of scenery, and plus there's like a lot to do over there. There's like a lot to do, and it's like on campus, and that's kind of like making up for what we didn't get senior year towards the end. So I'm looking forward to going on campus to kind of do that stuff. I'm not saying that there are things I'm not scared about or worried I won't be able to navigate, because again, sometimes it just hits me that's like, oh wait, I'm in college. Like, I can't I can't do some things, like when I'm doing an assignment or BSing something. I'm like, okay, well this probably has a bit more weight than it does high school. And then some things it's like, oh wait, I'm in college, not high school. I can do this, and it was more serious in high school than it was in college. So I think it's kind of like in the balancing where it's like, but I'm I'm feeling good about it. And the other thing too is there's some people, and that's something I wanted to kind of mention about um, maintaining connections and projects like this podcast for stars, which will be continued, by the way.
Hey,
we'll keep going.
Yeah.
But with that stuff, I know another thing I was worried about, and maybe if you guys out there are worried too, about how you'll stay in touch. For me, I'll start with me. For me, it was kind of there are some people that I work with too, and some family members and friends that are like, oh, like keep in touch, like how we stay connected. Especially my mom though. She was,
Right.
you know,
I know
especially
you
for
have
my
a special
mom.
relationship with your mom. I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, especially with the mom and only child. It's different. Um, so I was like, Mom, I told her I was straight up like, I'm a little bit nervous too, but I have full faith that it's going to be a bit of a change. But like what she told me, like how it's like high school or anything else that you're new to, eventually you find a way to make it work and get like a flow of things. So I said, you know, it's going to be different at first. Like, I'm not going to lie. It's going to be weird. But I think after a while, we're going to find a good flow of things. We're going to, excuse me, establish sorry, we're gonna establish, I think after a while, because that's not like that with anything, we're gonna establish a good routine. I told,
Mhm.
like I was telling her about us, like Adrian was like, well, we're already talking about ways we can keep going, Zoom and come down and record some stuff at a time to
Yeah.
make it work. So it's going to be a bit of a change at first. We might have to you know, manage a few things here and there because it's the beginning
Hmm.
of something new. But I have full faith in like what we got here too, the podcast, like our friendship here, like,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm not like we're too crazy worried about it because I have full faith knowing that uh, we'll make it work. And for those of you out there, for you too, Adrian, and everyone else listening that may be worried about how you're gonna make it work, um, the main takeaway that I want anyone to get out of this video is don't be afraid of feeling uncomfortable, or get comfortable with feeling uncomfortable, and don't try to force not feeling that way because it's normal, it's inevitable. And you know, kind of find solace in knowing that someday it's gonna kind of come together and you'll find a way, you know, because I imagine that even when you go off to your college and when I'm already at mine,
Hmm.
it's going to be a bit of a change, but I think after like some time, maybe a few weeks or months, like we'll already establish like a flow to it.
Yeah.
Right. And it's kind of, we're going to look back and be like, oh, remember like those old days. And
Yeah.
yeah.
It is weird to
So,
think about that. Like someday these will be the old days. You know.
yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
weird thought.
Yeah. Oh, we're already so old.
Well, you are. No,
Ugh.
but
Yeah.
I think that the way I look at it is, it is similar to how we started this podcast. You know, is we started it when we had just started college, like when we had just started, our freshman years of college.
Was it?
Yeah, it was the beginning of, because we had just started college, I believe, in September, and then we started the podcast early October, if you
That's
remember.
right.
So we had like
Oh.
I think it was our deal where I brought up the podcast in summer, right? The summer between high school and our freshman year of college. We're like, yeah, let's do that, but let's start it after we've already kind of gotten the hang of college. So we
Mhm.
waited like a month into college, and then we were like, okay, it's been a month. We kind of got the flow of our college classes now. Now let's start the podcast and see if we
Mhm.
can do that weekly. And that's kind of how it started. So I think it's going to be one of those similar situations too. And like even in high school when we graduated high school and all of that stuff,
We're still seniors.
they're still seniors. And, a lot of people in high school, obviously, who you're friends with in high school or you have a relationship with in high school, they're not going to be that way, later on in life. And I never really had the thought in my mind that we would ever necessarily stop being friends, but it's not like it's
Oh yeah.
impossible. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
possible for there to be like best friends in high school and then they just happen to go separate ways.
Mhm.
So, I mean, for Christian and I, it just worked out because we've been best friends since, we were kids. And so it just kind of, it didn't seem like the kind of thing where it's like, well, it was nice knowing you, and like just kind of see you
Yeah.
later. Like we always
Yeah.
knew that we kind
Yeah.
of wanted to like work together on stuff and, be
Yeah.
partners in some way of making content, and do something like that. So I'm glad that we're doing that.
Mhm.
But I think another thing would be, especially maybe for younger people, because I think people who are like a few years older kind of have gotten it from high school or whatever. But maybe people who are a little bit younger, like, don't be afraid of people kind of fading out of your life, or people who maybe not people that you hate necessarily, even, or people who are a problem in your life or something like that, but just kind of naturally go separate ways.
Mhm.
I would say don't be afraid of, um, when you're going through these like transitional phases, to try and like cling to everything that's like been in your past thus far, like kind of accept that when you're at like transitioning points, there are certain things, it doesn't have to be a bunch, but there are like certain things that you kind of let go of in order to kind of grasp onto a new thing. Like
Hmm.
when you're finished high school, you forsake high school to go to college, right? You're no longer a high school student. You're not doing high school things, as fun as they were. It's over, kind of a thing. And now you're doing this. So, like
Yeah.
for me personally, like I know a lot of people who they miss high school. They wish they could relive it, kind of a thing. For me, it was more of a thing where when high school ended, I was done with high school and I could put it away easily. And it wasn't like a thing that I necessarily yearned for, even though I know that it was a thing that other people kind of yearn for. And so people are different in that, they'll hold on to a few things in their past, and keep moving
Hmm.
forward. And some people will just kind of let go of stuff entirely. And I would encourage you to be okay with kind of allowing some things to just kind of be let go so that you can kind of be light and kind of clear minded in order to go into new things, so that
Yeah.
you're not going into this new place in your life with all of this undue weight that's kind of just excess weight, so that
Yeah.
you can carry a new burden, you can carry a new load that's actually relevant to you.
That's true.
So that's
That's
like that's one thing I kind of gathered from high school, and it's something that I still like struggle with in some ways. Like I've let go of a lot of things, but there are still some things I hold on to that would probably be beneficial for me to let go. So I know that that's like a thing that affects people. So I would just kind of encourage people to at least acknowledge that when
yeah.
they go to new
They go
places.
into that. That's true. Yeah, I think that's true. Something that I kind of, for both of us, that I kind of forgot, um, is that we're still so young. I think the way that we are and the way that because some people call us out on, like, and no, Angie, the one that there's a person named Angie that commented
Oh,
on.
I've been seeing her comments. Yeah, I've been liking them. Yeah.
She's from work and
Oh, really? Okay, I was
work, and
wondering who Angie
so,
was, dude.
but she says that the way you guys like talk, it's you guys are very like mature for your age. You're like ahead of your time, and so I kind of forget that we're still young and we're just kids. We're basically just kids, and I think like that, but like that for
Yeah.
anybody. I mean, for us though, I was like, oh my gosh, like we're only like 18, 19, 20, and like, and this we're not even like in our 20s yet. We're not even in our like early 20s yet.
Well, speak for yourself.
Yeah, but
Or
you
actually,
too.
reverse that. No, I'm joking. Yeah,
You
no.
too. We're not even in our early 20s yet, right? We're still
Well, you
kids.
are.
Early 20s. Early 20s, I think of like 23, 22.
Okay,
This is
sure.
like pre-early.
Pretty
So,
early.
I mean, yeah. For anybody out there though, not just Adrian and I really like what you said about kind of embracing things and letting them be how they are. Life's gonna happen. You can
Mhm.
be with it or against it. You can go against the grain, or you can kind of just go down the river and see where it takes you, right?
Mhm.
So I mean, that's the takeaway, Adrian. That's the takeaway, and I think you've learned that a little bit earlier than I have, which is really cool.
I maybe think so. Yeah.
Proud of
Nice. But yeah, I mean, I think that Christian breaks down.
you. I
It's
don't
too much. Yeah. Just
wanna...
for context, right? Like right before we started recording, we were just kind of breaking down about finals because that's great.
Yeah.
But it's
Don't say the
it's
F word.
it's fun. Yeah. Don't say. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Yes. Yes.
I would say that's solid advice. And again, like to Angie's point, we are. We've addressed this before. Like we're young guys, we're not professionals in anything. So like,
Correct.
when you hear us talk, we're not talking as if we have all of the answers, but we do know, number one, that from the experiences that we do have, we can draw information and wisdom from those experiences, albeit they're limited, right, as opposed to someone who's lived a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
And then also we know that a lot of the basic principles that we adhere to come from the Bible, which is timeless and doesn't age poorly. I mean, that's always
That's
going to
true.
be
That's
there
the
for
unchanging.
wisdom, right? That's the rock. So if you're basing your wisdom off of that, the age doesn't really matter as long as you're gaining the same wisdom from the Bible. You're good across all ages.
That's
So
true.
that's another thing. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I look forward to seeing what you have to say upon like starting that new kind of chapter, I guess, because I know that's going to be a definitely a new thing for you. But I know that
Mhm.
it's probably one of those things that it should have happened already. Technically, like you should have been
Yeah,
there like for
I
so long.
know.
So
Yeah,
it's kind of weird in that way. It's like a delayed experience, you know.
yeah, but I'm really excited though for us too, for you to come down like dorm, like in my dorm, to just kick it with me and like do because I mean it would be cool too because if you come down and you guys can visit and we got a place over there now, so you guys don't have to waste money on a hotel. You guys can come down,
Oh,
you and your
really?
family. Yeah, just come down because there's like I don't think Vegas gets like the hype for it being like Sin City and all adult, but there's like a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
There's a
kind
lot
of
of cool
like
stuff.
that in. I mean, obviously, Las Vegas is like to maybe a different level to like other big cities, but in any big city, you're gonna have stuff that's bad, that
Yeah.
you shouldn't do. So it's kind of one of those situations where obviously you don't want to throw yourself into stupid situations knowingly, but it's like I feel like if you have good discernment, you can definitely navigate any city,
Yeah.
and obviously, yeah, like if you're in a bad city, it doesn't mean you have to do bad stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not
So,
like
oh, I
it's
gotta
like
be different now.
it's like that one episode in Adventure Time where it's like was it the City of Thieves or something like that? It's like the city, it took advantage of me or something like that. I don't know. Jake's he stole and he's like the city got to him or something.
That's gonna be me. No,
No.
not gonna be me.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you to come down though, man, because there's a lot of cool stuff to do for your family to come down.
Yeah.
There's like a pool, not even like a block away, which I'm excited to.
But you gotta have a pool if you're in Vegas, right?
Dude, I know, but if you dorm and I don't have a roommate, dude, you could
Yeah.
basic. Oh my God, you could basically live with me because I have like a guest food pass and like we could get meals and
Yeah,
you
if
can
I
have
didn't have another, place to live with a college to go to, maybe, yeah.
yeah, online for a semester. You can come down for a few.
Oh, you mean like
Connect to the
yeah.
internet. You got a bed there, and then fly back whenever. Dude, that's cool, man.
Yeah, that's cool. No, I mean, I think it'd definitely be cool to spend time down there, and it's also one of those things where it's like, you know, we've lived basically within the same proximity of each other our whole lives, and so I
Mhm.
think it is important for friends, especially who want to remain friends, to like spend as much quality time as you. And that's really with anyone who you want to have a strong, friendship or relationship with, is to spend like quality time, and that's
Mhm.
like one of those things also with like your mom and stuff. Like I'm sure she's going to want to spend time with you down there too, I think,
Mhm.
right? Or are you going to come
Yes.
back to see her?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna come back and visit. That's the thing too. When we establish like a routine, for me to come down, first get like adapted to it, and then come
Mm.
down. Then, But yeah, she might enroll in college too, just to keep an eye on me.
She's what if you dorm with your mom, dude?
Oh, I mean that's. Please, please.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Christian's mom, don't watch this episode.
mom, watch podcast.
Oh,
Sorry, no, no,
your mom
no,
too?
no, no, no. That's so sad.
Yeah, it is. You know what? It's fine though. It's
That's
fine.
fine.
We don't
Camping
make the
though.
podcast for our moms, anyways.
You're right. We make it for you guys, and we're so glad that you guys watched this episode.
Yeah,
We're really grateful for you guys. You guys are awesome. You know,
yeah. I know
Who's
you guys really are awesome. Thank you guys for watching. Who tuned into the 2 hour special? Uh,
Netherlands too for tuning in.
Netherlands. Yeah, I haven't checked the stats lately for the people who have been watching, so I'm gonna have to check those and
Check
see if
that
there's any
star.
updates. But yeah, I
Check
mean,
that star.
for those of you who reach out to us, for those of you who promote our podcast, like Tucker and Lucas and Nick and Sophie, and all those people who obviously help our podcast grow. I just want to say thank you to all of you guys. Because we do it for you, but the fact that
It's
you
for
guys also
you
kind of
only.
reciprocate, some of the
By posting it,
generosity by
that's
posting and
why
stuff, that means a lot to us. And so I just want to say thank you guys for doing that.
we love you.
And
Like love you.
yeah, well,
Like I love you.
all right, yeah, but with that, of course, we do have the verse of the day. And this verse is going to be Matthew 11, verse 28. And that reads, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, for I will give you rest."
Ooh.
And that's kind of a double-sided verse, because it has the carnal implication, but then it also has the spiritual implication. That is basically that, obviously, and this is Jesus speaking. For those of you who don't know the context of it, this is Jesus speaking, and he basically says that to those of you who are, obviously laboring hard, and to those of you who are, very very hardly worked, and you have a lot to do, and you're tired, and I guess you could say you're restless. You don't have much rest, and there's a lot going on in your life. Not only does God give you rest in some sense in this earth by giving you peace, right, by his word, but he also gives you the peace of mind knowing that when you die, when you exit this world, having worked, your whole life in whatever regard you do, you will have rest eventually, no matter how hard you've worked, and no matter how many days you have, maybe wished that you would have been able to rest easy but couldn't. There is that promise of eternal rest,
It'll happen
later in salvation, and work in heaven will be pleasant, and time in heaven will be spent well. And so that's just kind of an encouraging promise God gives us. So you can hope in that.
Man,
there you go.
I love that word, rest. You need to rest.
You need to wait.
You must wait.
Must wait. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this episode. We do appreciate it. We know that it was a shorter one, but hopefully you guys still gained a good amount out of it. And I guess we will see you guys in the next episode.
And I love you guys. And Adrian, you're saying, yeah, we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Yeah. Take care.
So, yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye. You guys can leave now if you want.
Okay. Oh, is this like a post-credit scene where it's like
bye.
Seeing how long? Oh, patience.
I wonder if they'll click off the video. If you still made it to this point, why are you here?
Okay, let me tell you something if you're still on. You know what? Time to get real with this. What is this podcast called? Art of Awesomeness After Hours. AOA AH. Where we talk about what we really feel like. You know what? Man, screw that. I hate